Revenge tales. Present. The weight of knowing. The house smelled like grief. Iris stood in the doorway of her childhood home, breathing in 12 years of dust and abandonment. 3 days ago, a lawyer handed her the keys. Her mother had left her everything. Everything, meaning this small broken house with peeling walls and a kitchen that still smelled like lavender. Ellen Whitmore died 6 months ago. Alone. And Iris wasn't there. She was in another city, living under a different name, trying to rebuild a life that had been taken from her. He walked through the house slowly. Every room felt smaller, but the memories felt bigger. Photographs still sat on the mantel. Iris, at 16, laughing. Iris, at 22, before everything fell apart. Her mother kept them all, even after the town turned against her. Especially then. Outside, nothing had changed. Whitmore. Population. 800. A place where everyone knew you, and no one forgot anything. This was the town that believed the lie. She left at 24. With nothing. Just a bag and a ruined name. She stole from the store. I saw the books. I'm sorry, but I saw the books. Thomas Whitmore. Now, 12 years later. Iris was back. 36. Stronger. Quieter. Different. But the town? The town hadn't changed at all. The general store still stood on Main Street. The timber lodge still glowed in the dark. The church still pointed toward the sky, as if nothing had ever happened. And Thomas Whitmore's name was still there, painted on the window. Margaret Chin was young, mid-20s, kind eyes, and a quiet sincerity that made Iris's chest ache. She had been just a child when Iris left, too young to understand the truth, but old enough to remember the story. I know who you are, Margaret said quietly. I'm glad you came back. Iris had prepared for anger, for judgment, for rejection. But kindness was worse. I'm just here to settle my mother's estate. I know, Margaret said, but there's something you need to see. She glanced toward the back office, then reached for an old box. As if forgotten. Waiting. Audit records. Years old. 2011 to 2012. The previous owner kept everything, Margaret said. He knew something was wrong, but he didn't want the trouble. He pointed at the numbers. Thomas was the manager. He had access to everything. Iris read in silence. Her hands didn't shake. 12 years of pain had taught her control. The truth was simple. Theft was real. But it wasn't hers. Started small. $50.800. Then more. By the time Thomas accused her, he had already stolen $15,000. He needed someone to blame, Margaret said. The audit was coming. He needed it to be someone else. Iris looked up. Why are you showing me this? Because it's not right, Margaret said. What happened to you? What happened to your mother? It's not right. Everyone knew Ellen Whitmore. They knew she was good. And they let her die, believing her daughter was a thief. Something inside Iris shifted. 12 years of rage became something else. Thank you, she said. For 3 days, Iris stayed inside her mother's house and planned. She had the evidence. She could go to the police, expose everything. The theft, the lies, the ruined life he left behind. She could go public, post the records, send them to everyone in Whitmore. Destroy Thomas Whitmore. His business, his marriage, his carefully rebuilt life. Every possibility played out in her mind. She imagined his face when the truth came out. The town turning on him, just like they turned on her. She imagined him losing everything. It should have felt satisfying. But it didn't. It felt hollow. On the 4th day, Grace found her. Grace Holloway, her best friend since childhood. They shared everything. Secrets, dreams, and the quiet cruelty of growing up in a small town. When the accusation came, Grace stood by her. For 2 weeks. Then the evidence grew. The town believed it. And Grace stopped believing. I want to believe you. But Iris, the numbers don't lie. Now, 12 years later, Grace stood at the door. Older. Fragile. Her hands trembling. I knew you'd come back, she said. When I heard your mother died, I knew. Iris didn't invite her in. I know what you're planning, Grace said. I know you found the records. Then you know. I was innocent. I've known for years. I found out 5 years ago. Thomas got drunk one night. And he talked. Not clearly. But enough. I figured it out. And you said nothing. I'm a coward, Grace whispered. I've lived with it every day. The guilt. What I did to you. What this town did to your mother. But Iris. If you're planning to destroy him, you should know. He's already destroyed. The Timber Lodge hadn't changed. Same worn-out bar, same smell of smoke, same faces, lost in the same drinks. And at the far end, Thomas Whitmore sat alone. Iris almost didn't recognize him. Once, he was confident, charming, alive. Now, he was something else. Gray, tired, broken. His hands trembled as he lifted his glass. His wedding ring sat beside it, untouched. He watched him for an hour. He spoke to no one, except himself. Apologies, whispered into empty air. Another drink, another silence. His face was carved with guilt. His hollow, a man already dead inside. And he saw her. His body froze. Recognition, shame, fear, and then something else. Hope, the kind of hope that begs for an ending. Iris walked forward and sat beside him. I know. His hands tightened. He couldn't look at her. I know what you did. The theft. The lies. All of it. Iris. My mother died 6 months ago. She died believing I was a thief. She died in shame. Because of you. I know. I have everything. The records. The proof. I could destroy you. Your business. Your marriage. Your life. Finally, he looked at her. Do it. And there was. The moment she had waited for. For 12 years. Revenge. But something felt wrong. Looking at him, he understood. There was nothing left to take. He had already destroyed himself. You want me to expose you. You want it to end. You want the world to know. So you don't have to carry it alone. His face broke. But I won't give you that. I'm going to let you live. Every day. Every night. With what you've done. You destroyed an innocent life. You killed my mother. Without ever touching her. And now. You live with it. Please. Your secret is safe. Not because you deserve it. But because destroying you would change nothing. It wouldn't bring her back. It wouldn't give me back my life. This is your punishment, Thomas. Living. Knowing. Until it destroys you. He walked away. And never looked back. Iris left Whitmore. 4 days later. She sold the house. To people who would fill it. With something other than grief. She gave the records. To a journalist. With one instruction. Tell the truth. But not yet. He wrote a letter. Clearing her name. Letting the truth. Finally be seen. But she didn't stay. To watch what happened next. He drove away. Windows down. Cold November air. Filling her lungs. For the first time. It felt like freedom. The revenge she once imagined. The destruction. The collapse. It was never real. What was real. Was something else. Something heavier. Face. To let him live. To carry what he had done. Every single day. To let justice become. The weight of knowing. Alone. Until it breaks him. It wasn't the ending she imagined. But it was the only one. That mattered. As the mountains faded behind her. Iris understood something. She was finally free. And Thomas Whitmore. Never would be.